Welcome to Next Chapter Women, She Blooms in Solitude, a podcast for women over 40 in the midst of change, seeking healing, self-discovery, and a deeper connection to the woman they're becoming. I'm Jess Bordas, joined by my co-host, Maureen Mancy, and each week we'll uncover how to heal, grow, and reconnect with your inner strength through intentional alone time, emotional wellness, holistic care, and powerful mindset shifts so you can step into an identity that finally feels like you. As certified mindset and identity coaches, holistic practitioners, and moms navigating midlife ourselves, we're here to walk with you. Let's turn solitude into your superpower. Welcome to Next Chapter Women, She Blooms in Solitude, where life isn't falling apart, but it's asking something new of you. Sometimes the body remembers what the mind has long forgotten. Trauma isn't just something we think about, it's something that we carry. It could be in tight shoulders, it could be in shallow breath, it could be in a body that never fully rests. Today, we're exploring how stored stress lives in the nervous system and how release through practices like TRE and yoga can begin to restore a sense of safety in the body. We're here with Eileen Hartenstein, and this conversation is about healing childhood trauma and the stress patterns the body holds, not by forcing change, but by allowing the body to release what it no longer needs to carry.
Eileen Hartenstein is a certified yoga instructor for over 10 years. She was a studio owner for 5 years until the devastation of Hurricane Ida. Eileen is Reiki 1 level certified, and she works a full-time job in the trucking industry and is trained to become a TRE facilitator.
I want to share with everyone how I came to know about you, Eileen. I was waking up in the morning and I don't usually go into Facebook right away, but I went into Facebook to check notifications, and the first thing that popped onto my feed was your reel.
That hopefully resonates with others. But for those of us that are healing, I just wanted to share this with you. And so I wanted you to all know that you're not alone. So I'm in my 50s now, and I was sexually assaulted 40 years ago. 40 years. And I still remember that day like it was yesterday. And after it happened, I walked out and like it never happened. It never happened. Lived my life, spent a long time healing, a lot of talk therapy. And I have come a long way. But here I am in my 50s, and I just processed this entire event through my body. And I just want to share with everybody that healing, it doesn't happen overnight, and all of it gets stored in your body. Okay, all the things that you don't deal with, all the things that you don't feel, the tears, the rage, the sadness, all that, it doesn't just go away. It gets stuffed in here. So I wanted to make this video to maybe someone's going to see this, hear this, and it's going to make sense to them. It's never too late, and it's okay, but you can do it. My goodness, all these years later, I never thought that I had to process any of that. I thought I was fine. And I was fine. I just needed to heal.
So that is how I came to know about you, Eileen. And immediately after I saw that reel, I reached out to you. And I just want to make an important note that whoever's listening out there, this episode, it includes discussion of childhood trauma and sexual assault as part of a conversation about healing. So please take care while listening and pause if you need to.
Welcome again, Eileen. And I wanted to say that growing up, just in general, we go through regular type of stuff. But to go through sexual assault is a really, really big thing. So to carry that with you, the pain that you've held before you realized that you needed to listen to your body must have been something. So what did it feel like to live in a body that was constantly holding tension because of this?
I had no idea any of this was going on. So basically, I spent a lot of my life going through talk therapy and stuff, talked about this stuff before, but not really this. Honestly, the sexual assault was like a no talk situation. You know what I mean? I never really brought it up or discussed it, but I talked about my childhood, growing up in a crazy dysfunctional alcoholic home, all that kind of stuff. But when it came to the sexual assault, no. When I started paying attention to my body, I was actually in yoga class. This is after years of teaching. I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm looking at my body. And this whole process, it's probably been 4 or 5 years since the first time I actually looked at my body, looking in the mirror, and I noticed differences in my arms and how they looked, you know? And I said, well, that's curious. I wonder how long it's looked like that. And I've never even paid attention to it. So the process of coming to now and starting the TRE, is actually the connection that I have just totally shut down. And so with the sexual assault, it was like a part of me that I never let myself feel. So when I was in a session, a TRE session, that's when it finally, I knew it was coming because the pain was coming, the feelings were coming, all those things were coming up in my mind. And I'm like, oh, it's coming. I finally am laying down. I'm with a wonderful person that facilitates the TRE. And then I went through the whole entire thing laying down on the floor. I went through sadness, anger, rage, and physically like just putting my hands up and getting this person the hell off of me, cry. I have never cried about that. I have never felt anything about that. And so after this whole session went through, I had to feel in my body like everything was shaking. I didn't have any strength when I first started. I'm that person that I couldn't do anything back then. I was a young girl. And it's like now I'm not that same person. So after this whole process, I was like, I pull everything back to me, all my power back to myself. Look, I'm getting the chills just talking about it now, but it was very empowering and like such a big release in my person. And it's all in this body of mine. So now I have looser ankles, I have looser shoulders, and it's not going to be overnight as far as the body part. It's taken 40 years for my body to get like this. But that is what happens is we get like this because we're in fight or flight consistently. Ladies, I never realized that I was in fight or flight after all these years of talking pretty much 24/7. My nervous system was totally all over the place. I was not in a good place, but I also wasn't connected to my body. So I was just living life. And then finally, I started paying attention and looking at my body and feeling, and then going through this training has changed everything because the training that I'm going through, it's embodying. As you're going through the training and you're learning to facilitate, you are dealing with yourself. And I have cried more in the past year of my life than I have. And I'm a crier. I'm not a person who doesn't cry. I've cried my whole life about different things, but I've cried more in the past year, healing all of these parts of me than I have in my entire life. And it's been amazing.
Wow. So you stuffed that part of your past down.
Oh,
and you wanted to forget about it,
yeah.
right? Because
Yep.
you've had other trauma in your life, but that was something that you maybe felt like shameful for and were like, I'm just going to stuff it down. So then all of a sudden you're trying to heal from how your body is now, and you find this yoga and it's all coming to the surface and you realize that's why.
In the grand scheme of all the years of your life that you had been on the planet and carried all of that with you, a year of crying is so powerful, but it's so fleeting and fractional compared to all the time that you lived with and carried the weight of what happened to you.
Yeah, it's the change in me from a year ago till now is a completely different. My nervous system is completely different. And I have to share this with you because it's just true. As I'm healing, I said to my husband one night, because I didn't never realize this, I looked at him and I said, I'm so sorry because I've never given you all of me and I never realized it until now. And I'm really sorry because I didn't do it on purpose. Now I understand because I had to stay back, because I'm still waiting for the next person or thing to come around and get me. So even though my husband, who is a very wonderful man, it's just that my automatic response in my nervous system is protect, protect, protect. And now I'm so much softer. Everything is just softer. And even in my body, and I mean that in a good way, I'm a different person. After so many months of the TRE, I'm getting in touch with my body and understanding what's happening to it. Something's changed in here. The circuits are changing in here. There's a change happening in my brain. I didn't feel so frantic. And when that started changing the chemical makeup in my body, that everything started changing. So the softness is starting to come, and I'm getting more in touch with my feminine side, which I have shut down completely because I needed to survive. And my masculine side I have down because that got me to survive. And I'm grateful for my nervous system, my inner child, seriously, got me here. If you would have asked me like 30 years ago, would I still be here? No, I would not. And especially like if I had done drugs, because the option was there and I didn't care. I really didn't have any self-love or anything like that. And had I tried any of that stuff, I wouldn't even be here having this conversation with you, because even though I didn't talk about this specific thing, it was like, nobody cared. Who cares? I did have my moments. I took a knife and put it on my wrist, and just sat and thought, what would happen if I did this? But I didn't. And here I am all these years later. I'm 56 years old. And just because like I'm older, somebody listening to this is older, your life is not back there. You have to process, feel, and heal. Because if you don't feel it, it just stays. It just stays stuck in all this. Your life is not over just because of what somebody did to you. But I don't want to operate from my wounds anymore. I don't want to be 90% with my husband because I'm waiting for the 10% that I know something bad's going to happen. I want to operate from Eileen, loving myself, appreciating who I am, knowing how far I've come. I just want people to know that they're not alone, because there is healing available, and there's different modalities, different ways that you can heal yourself from this. But the truth of it is you have to feel it, and it is not pretty. Because there's a lot of feelings and emotions.
It makes me very emotional. And just to touch on what you're saying about all the things you feel, these things also impact your self-worth for your entire life. And you could spend a lifetime trying to get back something that you lost in that exact moment.
Ladies, I spent my life doing that. Codependency, all that stuff, where why do I always pick these same men? Because I'm going to save them, or I could pick the one that is going to treat me the worst because that's what I deserve. I still deal with shame now, even now. Like, that's a big healing part of me right now, because there's still a part of me, I am bad. I know I'm not, okay, but that's still part of my healing journey. It's a process, and it's not something that's overnight. But do I have release? Oh, do I have release? I definitely have release.
Wow. And the awareness that you have now that you're healing, the relationship with your husband is getting better. I can give you all of me now. You didn't even know that because you were carrying so much pain that you were feeling every day, and you just thought that that's how it should be. And
Yep.
then all of a sudden you're healing and you're getting it all out, and your nervous system is thanking you. This is pretty intense. So thank you for sharing all this, and
You're welcome.
you're brave.
I feel like you could have a whole conversation about tapping in more to your masculine energy as opposed to your feminine energy. And I understand because of the protection, but you don't think of it when you're living it. It's really fascinating.
No, you don't. I
You're
mean,
uncovering all these layers.
right. And that's the way it works. It's not like you just race into the finish line. It's like it's peeling a layer off here, peeling a layer off there. This feminine side of me that's a whole different ballgame, and I'm embracing it. But some of it's not really comfortable because I've been a certain way. My nervous system has been a certain way. So I keep my inner child. You're safe. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to feel your feelings. And you said something about your voice. This whole process, the voice, I just started the voice. Okay. So I get that. This was like a month ago in a session, and I realized that I'm actually speaking what I feel, what I think, what I need, I've always had a big mouth, which is why I had issues in my family, because people didn't talk about things back then. This was 1970 something. I always thought I knew things were weird, but nobody talked about the weird things, because talk about things, that's a whole nother issue. But the actual knowing, this is what I feel in my body. This is what I feel about this. This is me talking. This is me expressing. I'm doing this now. That's like a miracle in itself.
A lot of us in this generation are exploring and healing right now in this moment, because this is the first time we were ever able to explore anything like this. we carried this with us because for most people, not all, but a large majority of people from our generation, that's just how it was. You didn't talk about these things. You're told to be seen but not heard. When all of this came out of your body, did midlife or being the age that you were, menopause, did that amplify what was already there for you?
So I started the perimenopause stuff early, like in my 30s. And then I ended up with vitamin D deficiency. They do not tell you have vitamin D deficiency. I got really sick. I thought it was a menopause, and it probably was interwoven in that. I ended up going to my gynecologist for it because I thought it was a woman issue. Turned out it was vitamin D, but he's holistic. So ended up getting very, very sick. That is what brought me to yoga. That's what changed my life. I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was either going to go to the hospital and have them check me in because I was losing it. I hadn't slept in months. That it made me stop sleeping, or I was going to have to face what was happening. I just couldn't take it anymore. Okay. Hormones, hot flash crap, all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is what's happening. This is what's happening in my body. Called my friend up. I said, don't come and get me. I'm not going to go to the hospital. I'm going to figure out how to do this and live with what's happening in my body. And I went to yoga the next day. Changed my life from that day one. And yoga is what got me through all the rest of that. So the menopause, and I got through the vitamin D deficiency. My gynecologist says to me, when we first met, I was screaming because I had an issue. I had to get emergency surgery. I was screaming, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. He says to me, if you would have told me that you weren't on any medicine and you're at this age, back then I would have laughed and said, never in a million years. He says, I cannot believe the person that I first met till now. And the yoga, that's what got me through it all, because you're holding a pose, you're breathing, your body doesn't know the difference between stress in the yoga room, in your body, versus out there. So stress to your body, warrior one, warrior two, holding those poses or whatever pose you're in, and it gets uncomfortable. Does she run? Does she say, screw this, I'm out of here? It helped me to stop this and to start listening, not to the BS crap, and start changing what I let take up my time. Because every thought that comes in, I don't have to accept it. I don't have to play with it. I don't have to entertain it. I don't have to anything. Yoga has helped that whole transition time. I am so grateful for that.
Could you talk more about how shaking helps a person heal through TRE exercises?
So TRE stands for Tension and Trauma Release Exercises. It was created by Dr. Berselli. He worked in war zones. He observes that children and adults, when we're scared, when we're in trauma, we do this, we contract. So we all do that. That is human nature, animals, buddy. We all contract. But he noticed the children shaking. The adults were not shaking. His theory was, what the heck is going on here? There has to be a way to release that contraction. And that's the shaking that the children do. Adults hold that in because of social stigma. So you do some exercises that fatigue and stretch different muscles in your body, and it elicits those tremors to come back. So you would lay down on the ground, go into Supta Baddha Konasana with your knees out wide, feet to touch, and those muscles, your pelvic, all that's activated. You lay down, lift your hips up, and the tremoring will start. My first time I ever went to a TRE anything, it was a class with a few other women. I had never experienced it. So here I am laying there and the shaking starts. Okay. And I'm like, what's going on? Well, then the next thing I know, just the tears. And I didn't know what was going on, but I couldn't stop. I knew I was safe. I'm sitting there like this and my body's shaking. I'm crying. And then my spirit was like, you are healing yourself. You are healing your body right now. I will never forget that moment for the rest of my life. So what happens is it brings those tremors back because of this trauma, whatever it is, because trauma is different for everybody. What's trauma for you could be not trauma for somebody else. So it doesn't matter if you have a little bit of trauma, a lot of trauma. It's not about that. It's everybody can benefit because it brings back that shaking mechanism in your body. The healing to my nervous system with this, ladies, unbelievable. This is not something you need to do with somebody for the rest of your life. You do this at your house by yourself. Once you feel safe and comfortable, your body will do exactly what it needs to do. Laying there. Now, this is the shoulder that I had hurt. So I'm laying there and all of a sudden my shoulder just massaging and healing itself. Your leg will go down and your hip will start to move. There's my hip. Oh, there's my liver. And as you get more connected to your body, you will understand what it is doing. Oh, that's the liver. That's the bladder. If I could give Dr. Porcelli like a biggest hug right now, if I saw him, I would. It's changed my life. It's helped me to process the sexual assault. It's helped me process the childhood trauma even before that.
Yeah, I mean, the awareness that you have with the mind-body connection through this
Yeah.
TRE yoga, it's the healing of these things. This is amazing. And if anybody's watching this that wants to heal and is interested in learning TRE yoga, this is powerful. So get in touch with Eileen. Somebody probably really needs this. And if there's one person watching here and they want to go a holistic path, Eileen, you are letting your voice be heard, and we thank you so much. What changed in your body when you stopped trying to control the healing process?
I will tell you, when you first do the TRE, you're like, hold on, let go, hold on, let go. When you let go and you let your body move, it's something to experience. Just like in life and anything else, when you let go, that's when everything comes. Everything comes once you stop trying to control. We're our own worst enemy sometimes. We can support others so easily, but then when it comes to us, well, why aren't I should be here? Why aren't I over here?
But a lot of that is part of being a survivor, though. When these things happen to us, that's when we abandon ourselves because we learn in that moment that we don't matter. It's not about us. And a part of us becomes like a robot or a zombie or a shell of the soul that's really inside of us.
Yes, exactly.
And that's where all the control comes from. You think you're doing something good for yourself, but really it's the opposite.
I had a session yesterday. I had a woman that I love her to pieces, known her for years. So she's doing the session. She's in her tremors and stuff. Her hip started moving, and it's her uncomfortable side, her uncomfortable part. And as soon as she let go, but then she grabbed it back, and that's okay. Her body was saying, here's some space. And at the end, she actually has some space. It's all about creating space. And it could be physically, it could be here. It works the same way with the TRE. You can hold, and then when you let go, you're going to notice the space that's coming in. It's like, oh my God, look at that. I feel my ankle. I feel my ankle.
What would be a cost of someone constantly holding tension and never addressing this? Maybe they know that it's there and there's something that they need to, but what if they never got to that point where you were at and had that experience with TRE?
Think about it like this. Everything gets stuffed in your body. My feet, my ankles, and all the way up to my hips, you guys have all been affected. So you're not taking care of your feet. You're not taking care of anything, and all your emotions are stored in these different areas of your body. Your feet are connected to your ankles, connected to your knees, which are connected to your hips and all the way up. What's happening? Those are all stiff. There's no energy moving through them. They have no flexibility or nothing. Your ankles are going to hurt. Your knees are going to hurt. Your hips are going to hurt. It's all connected. Let's talk about just the anxiety part of it. So you stuff all this in, you live in anxiety all the time, your heart rate's faster, your breath is shallow. Where is that breath? It affects everything. So here comes sickness. What's wrong with me? And the thing of it is, you are sick. You can be sick. You can't just run from you can, but it's going somewhere, and it's going to be going where? It's going to be in your cells, the sickness. Because to me, it's a sickness. It's
right.
Yeah. I mean, it's a place in your body or places in your body where there's no space, there's no air, there's no anything. It's going to affect everything physically about you inside your body. I'm not a doctor, but I can speak for myself. I feel like if I would have continued in my stiffness, my alert, my totally masculine energy only, where I'm in protection mode all the time, where is that going to lead me in 10 years? If I'm even here, my heart's hurting, my lungs are hurting, my everything is hurting. So what's going to come from that if I don't start to take care of it and understand? Our bodies are so intelligent. And when we start to listen, it's going to tell us what it needs, what it wants, but we don't ever listen because we're so distracted to this and that.
Wow. What I hear you saying is our nervous system controls everything. So when you start listening to the signs in your body because you realize it's a nervous system thing from past trauma, that's the first part. It's the awareness. So many of us aren't listening to our bodies, and we're making ourselves sick because we're not addressing it. When you start listening to your body, can heal itself in a natural way through your holistic tools.
I see the nervous system and my inner child as the same thing. My inner child is my nervous system. It protected me. So it's teaching your inner child that she's safe. Because think about it. Let's say you're in fight or flight. You hear a loud noise. That's the way you react, because that's what protected you. And your inner child knows that. So it's going to revert right back to it. It's saying to your inner child, I got you now. Thank you so much for helping me live and survive. But now I don't need to be in survival mode anymore. Now I can thrive and I can live. That is really what this learning has been for me, is that you can say nervous system, you can say inner child, whatever, however it is for you. I've had my conversations with my inner child. I've seen my inner child, being happy and smiling. And it's like, yeah, you're okay now. It's going to be all right. You don't have to be scared anymore. You don't have to be in running mode anymore. You can stop, just stop. Because if I don't stop, I'm just going to make myself sick. And I don't want to do that. I want to be here. I want to be here to help others to see who they are. Because underneath all of this, all that stuff is really who you are. After this trauma, that trauma is already here. It's just healing this all.
So how can someone begin listening to their body today? If somebody's going to come to you and they don't know where to begin, they're like, my body's feeling all these things, but I don't even know where to start. What advice can you give them?
I'm always going to tell people to go try yoga, because I think yoga is fabulous for everybody, whatever yoga you do. But the number one thing is breath. Just breathe. Just go in your house, go outside of your house, sit down somewhere where it's quiet. Maybe listen to nature, close your eyes, feel supported. Let the weight of your body feel wherever you are, whether you're laying down or on the chair, on a stoop, whatever. Take up space. Allow yourself that space. You are here and you matter. And just breathe and inhale. Inhale through your nose and just be with yourself in that moment. You have to start somewhere. And believe me, in 3 seconds, you're like this. Oh my God, this happened in 7th grade. That's the way our mind works. You'll start thinking about something in 7th grade. Take another breath, listen to the inhale, listen to the exhale. You may have to do that 10 times before this stops. And then a minute goes by and it'll come back in. It's this learning how to not let your mind control you, but let you control your mind and be present in your life. That would be my first thing, is just breathe.
We're all healing. Everybody's healing from something. And I think it's fair to say that healing isn't pretty. You're not going to do this stuff once and then just be like, I'm healed. But we want to leave the conversation, provide hope for people coming out on the other side of this. What could they expect? A healing journey is powerful. Sometimes it's not that easy, but the amazing part on the flip side of it, you can look forward to this. Could you fill that part in?
You can look forward to actually knowing who you are. You can actually feel what's happening in your body. You will actually know what you feel, what you think, what you believe, and that you actually matter, and that you are important in this world. And, you are enough. You know what? My name is Eileen Hartenstein. And for a long time, didn't think I belonged here or that I deserved to be here. Okay. That comes from shame. But guess what? Now, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I have things to do. And I am not perfect. Do you know what? I'm friggin' awesome. And I am. And I mean that in a really good way. I'm not going to be perfect, but I have a wonderful heart. I have so much love to give, so much to share with others. That is what you get from healing, is understanding and appreciating yourself and knowing that tomorrow, like you said, not everything is like, woo, everything's fabulous. And because a lot of times in the spiritual community, it's love, light. Okay, well, that's great. I did a video on this is healing. This is healing. Healing is not like this. It's up and down and it's around, and love yourself through it. That's what it's about. It's the journey. It's not getting there, because you're never going to get there. Life is a journey to the day you're not here anymore. You know what I mean? So enjoy the journey and love yourself through all the craziness, because it is crazy, but it's sad crazy, it's happy crazy, it's a whole bunch of this. And then when it all comes comes together, I feel good, and then you'll be good for a little bit, and then you may have some more feelings, but it's understanding that it's a flow, not surviving anymore and actually living and thriving. That is what comes with it after, once you start the process, is actually loving yourself, loving who you are.
What you're saying is it just resonates with Jess and I so much because this is what we are all about. We want to love ourselves again.
Yeah. Yep.
We want to love the deep down core parts of us that were hidden by the past stuff that made us have this out of control nervous system that we're trying to get back, regulated. So where can women learn more about you and work you're doing?
So you can get me on Facebook. I have a website. The website has information on TRE. My Facebook also does.
It's important right now to say that if you or someone you know is experiencing abuse or feels unsafe, you are not alone, just like Eileen said, and support is available. In the United States, you can contact the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 800-656-HOPE. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom and story. And it touched something inside of me, and I know it's going to touch a lot of people and give a lot of people hope and courage and strength to know that it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. It's worth exploring, and you can heal, and there is hope. If this conversation resonated with you, we invite you to download our free identity reset guide, because when the body begins to feel safe, the next chapter of your life becomes possible. You'll find a link in the show notes. And until next time, remember that healing begins when we start listening to our bodies.
Thanks for listening to Next Chapter Women, She Blooms in Solitude. We'd love to hear from you, so come say hi on Facebook and share your biggest takeaway from today's episode. And if you're ready to rediscover who you are in this new season, you can learn more about how we can help or book a free empowerment call through the link in the show notes. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss what's next.